following show contains adult content. It's not our intent to offend anyone, but we want to inform you that if you are a child under the age of 18 or get offended easily, this next show may not be for you. The content, opinions, and subject matter of these shows are solely the choice of your show hosts and their guests, and not those of the Entertainment Network or any affiliated stations. Any comments or inquiries should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for listening.
Sitting down and designing, where every man in a thinking, what are we gonna be wearing? Yo, I'm a Liverpool MC, you can't trust me, big up the girls inside the party. Let's get down to crazy Jimmy, big up myself and known as Alfie, the one and only, the Turkish MC.
Always love the clothes of Jimmy.
British, I'm your one I wanna be, Jimmy Star, new celebrity.
We'll take you out to Jimmy Stars.
Hello. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, bringing you the good times in music, fashion, pop culture, and entertainment. Hope everybody's doing well. We have an exciting show today. A lot of Hollywood legends and icons coming on, so hopefully everything goes good with that. We're looking forward to it. Before we get started, let me first say hi to my cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Mr. Ron Russell.
Yeah, today's show is going to be a good one because I know Ruta Lee. Let's see if she remembers me. Ruta Lee is a personality that just goes on and on and on. No matter where she is, she's the center of attraction because she's outspoken, funny, beautiful, charming, and a very, very sweet person. And I only hope her book tells all about old Hollywood.
You know what the name of her book is?
Have no clue.
Consider Your Ass Kissed.
Oh, I love it. You know, I can't wait for Ruta to come on. That is probably the greatest title. Consider Your Ass Kissed. That's right. In this business, that's what you have to do. A lot of ass kissing, which I don't do. And that's why I get in trouble a lot.
So anyway, we want to welcome everybody. Let you know that we've got Ruta Lee coming on, and then we have Anson Williams. You guys
Happy Days,
know him as
Happy
Potsy
Days.
Weber from Happy Days. You probably don't know that. He's directed some of the biggest TV shows, though, on the planet. And so it should be a lot of fun. Before we get going, let's say hi to everybody, starting out with our chat room. What's up? Angela Joseph is in the chat room. B. Claudia.
Hey, Angie, baby. We'll see you on Friday.
B. Claudia from Germany. Teresa Sabins from Florida. Diane Repetto. Hello, Diane is in the chat room. I saw Boomer Mays, the football player, is in there. I'm not sure who else is in there. You guys got to write something so I can see who's in there because it goes. There's Backpack John has joined us. It's going to be a lot of fun. In the meantime, everybody says you look really good.
Well, I've lost 24 pounds, and I think that's a lot of weight. And I don't like the way I look because as you get older, you mustn't be skinny because you get wrinkled and skeletal looking. I have this wild eye look all the time, like old men have in nursing homes, you know, when they're being assaulted. So I'm trying to get my face back to what it was, and my body certainly. But I feel wonderful. My doctor calls me the miracle because in 4 weeks, I'm doing things that people don't do in 12 weeks. I feel great. I'm making my own breakfast. I'm walking. I'm talking. I'm going out. I went to the mall. We went to Malibu. I mean, I'm doing everything I did before at a slower pace. That's all. But other than that, I feel terrific.
We want to welcome Jason Taylor in the chat room. Hello. And we're going to see Angela Joseph on Friday. She's coming in from Denver to LA or wherever she lives in Colorado to LA. So we're going to be seeing her.
We're going to a club that she's working in. She's a striptease artist. And I hear she strips down totally naked.
Yeah.
So that's something to see, right, Angie?
Everybody
baby?
says congratulations. We also want to let everybody know that next week we're going to New York. So next week we're not going to have a show, and then we'll be back the following week, and then we've got great guests scheduled for all those weeks afterwards. Really, really good ones.
Well, we'll have some good footage of New York, some fun stuff with all of our New York friends.
Yes, we're going to go stay with Eileen.
Eileen, you know who she is.
And Diane Repetto is in the chat room, and she's going to be there Friday too. So it's terrific. It's going to be a lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
Teresa Sabin says, please hug each other for me. So we will. And all is good. So we watched a really cool show on, I don't know if everybody will like it, but I liked it.
Halston.
Yeah, it's on Netflix, you guys. And it's Halston, and it's Ewan McGregor playing Halston, the famous designer. And it was actually done very, very well.
Well, a little
really
too graphic for me. You know, years ago when there was a sex scene, they camera off to an ocean or a cloudy sky or some music, and we got the picture. We knew this was a little bit too gay graphic, and I think it's going to offend, upset, or confuse a lot of the heterosexual audiences that watch it. It is demeaning the way they portrayed it. It is not what all gay people are about. It is not how all gay people behave. And I'd like that point made. Jimmy and I certainly are not like these people that you see in
I
this.
knew you said you used to go to Studio 54 and people didn't have sex right there. In the
No,
middle
no,
of the
I know
floor.
that's bullshit. I was in studio every Saturday night. I went with a lot of my friends from Brooklyn. We used to all get a limo together and we'd go and we'd invade studio. I was there Saturday night, and the only place that they had sex was down in the basement, and they called it Tombs, or up all the way up in the bleachers, way up high where you couldn't see your hand in front of you. But as they showed in this movie, there was right there on the first balcony railing, a guy's getting screwed. No, that didn't happen. It wasn't that decadent. They like to make it decadent. It was more drugs and dancing and drinking and fun and parties. I went there because I wanted to see the who's who. Unfortunately, I've seen Liza Minnelli. I'm not a fan of hers.
But
But
the
anyway-
actress who played Liza Minnelli did a good job,
Yeah,
though.
did a good job, but she made it, Liza too sweet. They should have portrayed Liza as the bitch she is. But she's not she's nice to people she likes, and if she doesn't like you, she's just very not nice. She's selective friendship. But all the other people, I mean, I never saw Halston there, and if I did, I wouldn't have known who he was anyway. But Andy Warhol was very easy to see. And that other girl, Bianca, she was always all over the dance floor. In fact, one time I was dancing with my friend, and Bianca cut in, and she was dancing with me and left her partner on the floor with somebody else. So it was a fun crowd. Studio was fun. The portrayal of Halston made him out to be extremely neurotic and extremely gay, homo, injured. I'm tired of these parts. I'm tired of showing gay people as the injured people, as the people who have been brutalized. Yes, some of us have, but we went on. And we live very normal, happy lives just as well as anybody else. I think if they photographed Jimmy and my relationship, people would go to sleep. because friends of ours call us vanilla. We're vanilla people.
Eileen calls us vanilla.
Yeah, and I'm happy to be vanilla because the other is just a little bit too racy for me and exactly not who I want to be. I was raised very Italian, very strict, very respectful of your body, respectful of putting things into your body that can harm it, and behaving accordingly. And that's how I like it. People think I'm this wild, outrageous, crazy guy. Far from it. I'm very sensible. I'm very normal. I'm very in control of who I am. So gay people are not as Halston is portrayed. There are some, yes, I've known many that were size queens that only liked black men because they said that, if you pick up a white guy, you're lucky if you get something good. But if you pick up a black man, you will always get something good. But I have many black friends, males, and they said that's not true. Black men and white men are all built the same. Some are big and some are small. But in this TV portrayal, they made him out to be a black, loving size queen. Watch it, enjoy it. I don't know. It got a little heavy at times. His smoking was annoying the hell out of me. They kept making him light one cigarette after another, and he must smoke because he was inhaling. And it was just disturbing. Other than that, it was okay. Now, if you want to see something really funny, watch Hacked. Hacked is a funny TV series, and it stars Jane Smart, who's wonderful in it. I think it's based on Joan Rivers a bit. It's a funny show, uplifting and great. That's something that I would recommend you watch. Now, Jimmy went away. I don't know where Jimmy went to. But he went away and he left me here all alone. So now we can talk intimately. Why is my mic going on and off? My earplugs are going on and off. Oh, well, this is, live TV. Live TV stinks sometimes. Where were you?
She was sitting in the test link, and I went to see, and she's there. So now she's going to come over to.
Oh, she was in the test room. That's Ruta Lee. She's a beautiful woman. Ruta Lee is really a stunning looking broad. I mean, she's no little girl. She's not a tiny little petite chick. She's a built woman, and she's very beautiful.
Hey, you guys. So Ruta hasn't done StreamYard really before, and we were going to do a test at 11:45, and that's where she was sitting just now. I went back in there to see, and so she's going to come over here, and hopefully she'll get in relatively quickly, and then we can let her in.
And then
it makes
we
me
can
feel better.
Start the party.
She looks fantastic.
She's a beautiful woman. I got to tell you something. I've seen her in person many times. And she's got lovely skin. She has a pretty little nose. She always wears crazy hats, big hats. She's quite a personality. I like her a lot. I only hope she remembers who I am. They meet so many people, they don't remember everyone, especially interviewers. But I've met her socially, of which I will discuss when she comes on our camera. But I like her, and you will too. She's a real friendly. She must be from Texas or someplace. She looks like a Texan. I have to find out. She's one of those Texas broads, out and friendly and howdy, how are you? Like, hey, everybody, come on in. Very nice lady.
It's going to be awesome. She looks so great.
You haven't got your mic on and you're talking. See,
she looks so great.
Unprofessional. He is so unprofessional.
How could anyone forget Ron?
Who's Ron? No, you know what? I'm confused. I'm never mostly forgotten, but I'm confused with a few people. A lot of people think that what's his name, John, what's his name, and I are the same people. Mm-hmm. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
John, what's his name?
Super guy. I don't know his name.
John. Oh, Jesus. We look alike. We're the same height, built, same black eyebrows with white hair. You know him from the commercials and from the talk show. John, no, I can't think of his name.
There's two different ones you look a little bit like, but.
Well, people confuse me with him a lot.
Soap opera star. He's a soap opera star, too.
He's a soap opera star. I didn't know that. We have to have him on the air. We have to have him on
I tried
the show.
to get him.
Oh, I'll get him. But who's the other one they confuse me with?
Well, they used to confuse you as Tony Curtis.
Yeah, but Tony's dead. Now it's no longer the thing.
That's mostly the two, I think.
No. Somebody else that they confused me with. I forgot who it is. But anyway, yeah, I mean, Ruta probably will remember. Jimmy, you're not. Jimmy, where the fuck are you going? You're knocking everything all over the place. He's like a bull in a china shop. I'm telling you, the man is just not to be believed. Now he knocked all our cameras out of line. Oh, Jesus. Oh. I hate this COVID crap. I can't wait to get back in a studio. In a studio where everything is done professionally and correctly. I hope everybody out there is having a good time with the little bit of freedom that we're getting from COVID. Little by little, California is opening up. Not by much, but little by little, it's opening. And we're starting to feel free again. It's been a very long haul, a very long time of being locked up and told what to do and what not to do, and to wear a mask or not wear a mask, to go where you should go or shouldn't go. It's not the American way. American people like freedom, and we like to have our choices, our own. We don't like to be dictated by a government. That's communism or other countries where they dictate to their people what they should do, where, and how they should behave. We are still a free country. Anyway, he went away again. I don't know what's going on today. Today is a crazy day. It's not like our show usually is. But anyway, I've asked Sally Kirkland to come on our show, and Sally Kirkland agreed. So soon we will have Academy Award nominee Sally Kirkland, who is a brilliant actress and a very darling friend of ours. And we're going to talk about the Silver Spoon, which was a diner in West Hollywood that all of us used to hang out in. Shelley Winters used to hold court there and tell us wonderful stories, kiss and tell stories about all the men in her life. And I brought Jane Russell there, and Mr. Blackwell would go there with us. We had our own little crowd. It was a wonderful diner, and everybody in it was friendly in the business. And we all missed that diner so much. Sorry that it closed and they put a drugstore, I believe, there now. Old Hollywood was a time of fun. Old Hollywood, we all knew each other. When we saw each other, we were as close could be. Years would go by, we didn't see each other, but then when we saw each other again, we were as close could be. We were a family of people. My old friend, my best and dearest friend, as you all know, is Jane Russell, the legend. She was my sister, my girlfriend, my mother, my best friend. She was all those things to me. One wonderful person. And Jane and I used to travel all over together, and we had the best times with fooling people who she was. One lady walked up to Jane one day and she said, "You know what? You look just like Jane Russell, but she's dead." And Jane said, "Oh, she died? I didn't know that." And then we had a big chuckle as we walked back to our car. Hollywood had still some great celebrities left living. Betty Davis was still alive back then, and so many of the great Warner Brothers stars and all the other great stars of Hollywood. So we would run into each other at parties or at benefits or just in places that everybody frequented. You know, I was in, what was it called? Oh, geez, that wonderful store. Where you got clothes cheap, not Marshall's, another one, the better one. Anyway, we ran into a lot of good stars in that place. I'm losing it. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But anyway, I'm trying to stall time while Jimmy's trying to get Ruta. We only have Ruta till 1 o'clock. So I wish she would come on because I'm running out of words, which is really not me. But I'm running out of words. Anyway, old
But we
Hollywood.
enjoy hearing your stories, Ron.
Well,
It's entertaining.
thank you, honey. Old Hollywood was different than the new Hollywood. My little darling friends that I love, that I work in movies with, like Sadie Katz, Sherry Davis, Angela Joseph, all these people that I know today are darling, little, sweet, wonderful people. But they do not have the panache or the glamour or the whatever it was that the studios taught the old stars to do. When you were out with an old star, you could be just walking down Rodeo Drive anywhere, any street. And suddenly you were walking with a star. And you knew they were a star. Now I walk with my little friends, and it's like walking with little friends. We don't have that star. Jimmy, knock the camera one more time. I'm going to crucify you. Thank you. Good. He didn't knock it. Now when you
Hey,
walk,
Rebel.
wait, I'm talking.
I know, but hey, Rebel, is
Jimmy.
she there?
Yes, sort of.
Yep, got it.
Here she comes.
Got it, Harlan. Thanks.
Harlan, how are you? You don't remember me, Harlan. I'm going to punch you when I see you. I've met you so many times. Tippy and I are good friends. I did.
I don't see. Oh, wait, she's got to hit her camera button. Hey, Ruta, hit your camera button.
It's so hard when you don't know
did.
what you're doing.
Front camera, back camera. What the hell do I know? Front camera.
Front camera. Hit front camera.
That's brutally.
Hit front camera, Ruta.
Where?
I didn't know there was a back camera. Oh,
Yeah.
there should be just a little button that says camera someplace, and just click it because we can hear you.
I just.
But we've
clicked-
got to see you.
There's a horizontal thing that says camera and one that says audio.
Hit
And I
camera.
clicked camera several times. I did.
And it did.
I
And it
did,
didn't come
nothing's
on.
happening. All right, I'm going to try front camera again.
Okay.
All right, back camera, front camera. It shows that I'm on front camera.
Okay, try that. I didn't know
I
there was a
did.
back camera. Oh.
I don't either, darling. I don't understand any of this cock-a-doo-doo.
I don't blame you, neither do I, but I want to see your pretty face.
Well, my darling, I don't know what to do for you unless I start again. I don't know. Front
Try it
camera.
one more time. Try it one more time. You know what? Exit one time and then come back in again. But this time,
All right.
hit camera before you come in.
If there's anything to hit that says that, I will. Okay.
It'll say camera and mic. It'll say check your camera and mic and hit the button for each one. And we'll see if that works. If not, we'll just talk to you.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye. I don't know, because it worked in my office. And so it should work here. Anyway, you guys, sorry, but we're working on it. And hey, yay, Ruta Lee is right. We miss old Hollywood. Thank you, Ruta Lee. Absolutely. We do definitely miss it. She's fabulous. Hopefully it'll all go through. And I never had a problem. You got any suggestions there, Rebel? Because like normally you just go, I don't do anything.
Doesn't Ruta have anybody there that can help her?
No.
Oh, that was dangerous. See, that's no, you should always have an associate or an accomplice or somebody with you in the event that these things happen, because people my age, we're lucky we know how to use a cell phone. There's a lot of technology to learn. We've learned so much in our years that this kind of technology just burns our brains out.
It's funny though. Well, let us know, Rebel, if you see her coming in. I don't know how else we can tell her.
I will try when she comes back.
Okay.
There's nothing else we can really do. It looked like the camera was blacked out.
Yeah, I don't know
It
why though,
didn't
because
say
it worked in my office. Like when she did that, she was in there. She was sitting there. I could see her.
Where is she now?
And she's on the same device she was on just a minute ago.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know why
That's
there would be
weird.
a problem, but
Are we not receiving her?
we're receiving
she
her
left.
audio, just not her video. No, she's left. She's coming back. She's coming back in. Anyway, so you can go back to your story until she comes. Let us know, Rebel, when she's there.
I forgot what my story was now. But anyway, there were a lot of the great things that we did in Hollywood back then. Women dressed beautifully. I remember going to the Bistro Gardens for lunch with a friend of mine, and seated there was beautiful, what the hell is her name? Wuthering Heights, a star. Oh my God. Anyway, looking stunningly beautiful, and so many celebrities that you knew from older movies would all congregate in the same places. Today, that's gone. You can go to the Ivy, and you don't know who's there. It's not like years ago. You don't have Chasen's anymore. You don't have La Dome, restaurants that all of the actors frequented. Robert Wagner and Natalie Wood used to go to an Italian restaurant on Little Santa Monica on Thursday nights. They had a table there that was their table, and we would sometimes go on Thursday nights and see them there. Great stars of Hollywood were very visible if you traveled the circuit. Today, the stars of Hollywood, you don't see them. I mean, I'm out and about. I've never seen Charlize Theron. I've never seen George Clooney. I've never seen any of these people anywhere, the major stars. So either they don't go out, or if they do, I don't know where they go. They sure don't go to the places that we went to. So Hollywood has changed. For me, it's no longer Hollywood. It's just a place to visit people that I like so much, like Sadie Katz and Miles Riff. They're very good friends of mine, dear friends of mine, as I mentioned, and Angie Baby and all the kids that are out there working their butts off in these horror movies. I hope that they can graduate from horror movies and go into good films, quality films. You don't want to be a horror movie star forever, because that's, not exactly the most exciting thing in your career. Jimmy, talk. I'm going to run out of vocal.
Okay, well,
I think we lost Ruta forever.
she needs to come back to the correct link. I don't know how she can.
Well, where is she? She took a walk. I mean,
I don't know.
I
You have to
hate-
talk though for me to like. Do
I know
these
that, but I
things.
can't talk because I'm exhausted. What am I going to talk about? People are going to be bored to death.
No, you don't bore us. We love you, Ron.
Please
Talk
do.
with him, Rebel, while you're watching, and let me see if I can get him.
Okay, a story I wrote on Facebook, which is funny. Blackwell and I were at a party, I believe at Debbie Reynolds' house, possibly. Debbie,
Wait,
I
Jimmy,
think
she's coming in now.
she's coming in
Okay,
now.
good. All right. I was going to leave. Okay. Yay. Up, no, it's still no camera, so we're just going to have to talk to her without camera because there's nothing I can do. There's nothing you have to do. You just come in. Hey, Ruta, can you hear us?
No, we don't have it.
I can hear
Oh.
you. Yes.
Okay, we can hear you, but we
Now I
can't
can
see you.
hear
I don't know why your camera is not working, because you shouldn't have to do anything. It should just come up like it did on my computer in the other room when I saw how beautiful you were earlier.
All right.
But I don't want to
now, on
spend
the
more.
bottom.
Uh-huh.
No, Jimmy, rather. There's a strip at the bottom that says mic, camera. There's a combination thing that says cam, mic, chat, leave.
Hit the one that says camera.
Just camera?
Yeah, do just camera first.
Well,
what
I'm
happened?
seeing you beautifully.
Well, now do you remember me?
Of course I remember you. We had a fabulous affair.
Well, that we weren't going to talk about. The last time I saw you, my sweetheart, the last time I saw you was at a very, very sad affair. My darling friend, Mr. Blackwell, had passed away, and you were doing
Oh.
a eulogy on the little stage, and I was seated with Tippi Hedren and Bobby Benton right in the front. And you gave a beautiful eulogy about Richard, about Mr. Blackwell. And then we went to the Four Seasons, which Beverly threw a lovely luncheon. And that's the last time I saw you. Prior to that, I saw you at the convention center. I was with Jane Russell and Tony Curtis, right between the two of them. And I saw you there. You had on a pretty hat, and you were just gabbing away like
Hang
you
on one
always do.
second. Let's try one more thing. Hit camera one more time.
Camera. It's red now. Before it was another color. Okay.
Okay, see, that
now
should
I'm back
actually-
to you're in a small box instead
Yeah, and
of
you're
on the whole
supposed
screen.
to be in the other box.
Did why don't
Okay, try one more thing. Hit camera mic and let's see what happens.
I try chat and see what happens? Chat.
Oh, I think chat's going to put you in our chat room. No, I don't think that won't work. So
Okay, so let's.
we're just going to
make it-
talk.
yeah,
Let's
we'll
just
make
go
it-
back to talking.
We'll do radio. Remember radio, folks? Years ago, it was a thing you listened to. Ruda, I hope you're. I love the title of your
Yes,
book.
darling.
I love the title of your book, and I hope
Now hold
that
on
you.
a second. Wait. I don't know if I'm blurring for you, but you are every other word is gone.
So go back to
There was-
hit just mic.
It's not there for me to hit now. I have to go back.
Oh, okay.
To what happens if I push StreamYard? Nope, nothing.
Rebel, you got any advice?
I have a good idea. Why
Talk
don't you
media.
why don't you hop in your car and drive over? We live 20 minutes. we live 20 minutes apart in Palm Springs.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm going down as soon as we're done.
Yes. All right. Can you hear us now? Let's just talk.
We're gonna have you back on.
Now listen to what the thing says underneath here. It says many external mics aren't supported on iPhone or iPads at this time. Safari is working on fixing this. Well, isn't that nice?
Well, screw Safari. Let's go on with the show. So, as
Okay.
I said before, the
So
title
let's
of
introduce her first. Hey, everybody. So this is Hollywood legend Ruda Lee. Welcome to the show. You've actually have met Ron before several times.
many
He didn't know if you would
times.
remember him or not. And I'm Jimmy Starr, and we want to welcome you to the show.
Jimmy Starr, I am so happy to be with you and with Ron. And of course, who could forget that silver-haired devil?
You're full of crap, Ruda, but it's okay. I was I was the one that was making out with Tippi Hedren at the funeral. I'm gay.
I don't blame you. I don't
But
blame
wait
you
a
for
minute.
making out.
Wait a minute. Tippi and I were drinking wine, and next thing I know, we're kissing. And I said, Tippi, but I'm gay. She said, isn't it wonderful? I love Tippi. Tippi's a sweetie pie. But anyway,
Tippi is a darling lady, as is your friend Barbie Benton. She is
Bobby's
one of
a
the sweetest
sweetie.
girls. Now you might not remember this, Ron, but when I got married, my wedding reception for 450 people was at the Playboy Mansion. Hugh Hefner tossed it for me. And
I
those
remember.
were the days when Barbie, darling Barbie, was so mad for Hugh, and he was obviously slightly mad for her too. But I think she was sort of pining to be Mrs. Hugh Hefner at
Oh,
that time.
no doubt
And
about it.
and we have wedding pictures that were taken, and Webb said the sexiest thing that happened to me that night was Barbie Benton licking sugar off my fingers from the wedding cake. And I thought, why that sexy little bitch, can't she stick with her own guy?
No, Barbie, I believe, almost said once that Hef was the love of her life. She almost came to saying it and then kind of caught herself because she was, of course, married then
Yes,
to somebody,
to
to
George,
someone
yeah.
else. Right.
Yeah.
So I saw Bobby at a convention not long ago, and the convention was doing okay. You know, everybody that was there had a few people. Bobby Benton's line went around the block.
Oh,
I mean,
nice.
you never saw so many horny guys in your life, and they all wanted her. They wanted her to sit on their lap. So I, of course, didn't stay online. I walked right behind her. I said, "Okay, Benton." I said, "Let's do it." And she said, "Okay." And she jumped on my lap and she was rubbing all over me, and the men were going crazy.
So
She's
how
still
much
a
do
se-
you charge for a lap dance?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I didn't pay, but the other guys pay, I think, $40 to get yeah, $40 and up. Now let's get to your book because I love the title. What the hell made you think of that title that is so Hollywood?
Hang on, you guys. It's Consider Your Ass Kissed by Ruta Lee,
Love
and her
it.
website is rutalee.com.
Love it.
And tell us a little bit about it.
Well, first of all, I'll tell you that it's available at Barnes and Noble. It's available on Amazon.com. It's available, I like your local bookstores. For Hollywood, it's available at Edmonds, which we all know. And it's available at Be Just Fabulous in Palm Springs, where I'm going to have a book signing on the 30th, which also happens to be my birthday. So I invite everybody to come to Be Just Fabulous in Palm Springs, and I'll sign books, and it'll be great fun. And the title came.
Wait, hang on. Hang on, Ruta. What day is the 30th? What day is
Sunday, May
It's a
30th, 2 p.m.
We're in New York, right?
Yeah, we're in New York.
Oh shit, I'm
Yeah,
in New
you're
York.
in New York.
Otherwise,
Well-
I'd be there. I would be there to get a hug and have you sign my book.
You're a Palm Springs person. Of course you would. Well, I am so happy with the title because, first of all, it causes everybody to kind of do a double take. And it happened because George Pinocchio, who you guys know is the red carpet man for ABC television and the Hollywood reporter for ABC, is a long-term friend. And one of my kids, I call him. And he has heard me for years use that expression as a sign of undying, deep, loving gratitude to all of those people who have been nice enough to turn a set on because I was going to be on, a television set, or paid a ticket for a movie, or to come to the theater to see me, or above all, to give me money, not just me, but to Debbie Reynolds and all the rest of us who cared, for the Thalians, which
Right.
is the PHALIANS.org. And the Thalians was literally Hollywood for mental health, started by a group of young actors, performers, and allied fields, agents, writers, directors, that sort of thing, that got tired of being called pot-smoking, hard-drinking assholes who had nothing to contribute to anybody. And they said, we hang around the piano and sing and have drinks and laugh and scratch. Why don't we put a group together, come up with something, sell tickets, and we'll raise money for a charity? Great idea. That's how the Thalians were born. Thalia being one of the Greek goddesses who was the goddess of comedy. And also she took care of stray lambs. So that seemed appropriate. So they sent out, guess who? Jane Mansfield and Mamie Van Doren. Now you want to talk about plus size. Oh my Lord.
Forget about it. Two bombshells.
150Z,
Right,
And-
exactly. It's true. Mamie's still around. She looks
Oh,
good.
Mamie's still around and looking fan-frigging-tastic. She's just wonderful.
Yeah,
Anyway,
she's still sexy.
Yep, they came back to the meeting saying, well, all the good diseases have been taken. And so they found a doctor who was dealing with emotionally disturbed children, and he described one of those children as a rotting apple in a barrel that can infect the whole barrel or community unless he's taken out and taken care of. And so the Thalians started in with taking care of emotionally disturbed children. And then 18 years later, we built the Thalians Community Mental Health Center, which was the first building that went in at the Cedars-Sinai complex in Los Angeles.
Congratulations.
Oh, I'm very proud of what we did. Then, some 55 years later, and mind you, we took care of everything from pediatric through geriatric patients, in-house and out, in hospital, out of hospital, in every treatment possible. Then we discovered that we were really missing the boat on something. We were not taking care of the returning veterans. These beautiful young people that are willing to put their lives on the line for us every day, no matter where we send them, and they come back broken and fractured, and they somehow slip through the cracks. So we joined up with UCLA's Operation Mend. OpMend takes care of the broken and fractured bodies. We take care of the broken and fractured mind and therefore spirit. And mental disease has always been a hidden disease. It's always been in the closet. And I'm very proud of us Thalians for shining a Hollywood Klieg light, a spotlight on that dark abyss that is known as mental illness and bringing it into that bright light of healing. And we have raised millions and millions and millions of dollars for the mental health issues in our country. And I'm very proud of us. And I ask everybody, please, of your listeners and sometimes viewers to go to the Thalians, THALIANS.org, and you can get a message from Debbie, God rest her soul, and me and everybody else telling you about what to do and how you might donate to us. And all I can say in advance is that I started off telling you how the book title came about. So my darling friend, George Pinocchio, said, Ruta, whenever you're on stage thanking people for generously donating to the Thalians, you always say, consider your ass kissed. And you mean it in the deepest, most sincere way. And that should be the title of your book if you ever write one. Well, he won, and he's absolutely right. And I'm
you did. You wrote a book, and now I want to know all about it. Are you telling stories about all of us, or are you being closed-mouthed? Now, listen, I wanted to ask you a quick question. I've seen you several times on Hogan's Heroes, looking absolutely beautiful and young and stunningly gorgeous. I mean, beautiful, beautiful isn't the word. Did he ever hit on you? Because he was a womanizer. What's his name? The star of
Bob Crane.
Bob Crane.
Bobby Crane. No, he wound up being a very good friend, and it broke my heart when, as the years passed, he got into a lifestyle that did not obviously become him because he wound up dead. But
right, exactly.
I've got to tell you that either I was always too young, too stupid, not hearing well, or just taking it as a joke, because nobody ever hit on me. Now, I keep saying,
oh, go away. That's bullshit. Come on. Give me a
I
break.
know I don't have any boobs. I've got to tell you, I always used to say that I owe my whole career to B.F. Goodrich because I wore so much rubber padding in my life. And Phyllis Diller once said to me when I was on stage, Ruta, you've worn so much rubber in your bra that you erased what little tits you had.
Now, I saw you at the convention center about maybe 15 years ago, and you had on the most wonderful hat full of flowers, and you were going at it like crazy. You were holding court and carrying on and talking, and you had an audience of people around you just enjoying you. Every time I've ever seen you, you have been the personality. You have an incredible personality, and it shows in your work. Because I've seen a lot of stuff with you, Twilight Zone, this zone, that.
Hang on, wait. Let me brag. Let me
I
brag.
mean, she's, all right, let Jimmy brag about you.
Okay, so you guys, the first thing I ever saw Rootedly in, probably, well, with Ron, was Seven Brides for Seven Brothers, and Funny Face, but she's been in over 2,000 television appearances, and I picked out the things that I know what they are. I watched, and people already are talking about Perry Mason, but Perry Mason, The Andy Griffith Show, Gunsmoke, Dragnet, George Burns and Gracie Allen Show, Ironside, Marcus Welby, MD, The Twilight Zone, The Flying Nun, Hogan's Heroes, Mork and Mindy, Benson, The Love Boat, Roseanne, Power Rangers, The Lucy Show, Days of Our Lives, 77, Sunset Strip, and that's only a few. She's got over 2,000 appearances. She's also worked with Clint Eastwood, Charles Bronson, Burt Reynolds, Fred Astaire, Bob Crane, The Rat Pack, Howard Keel, Johnny Carson, James Garner, Robin Williams, Frank Sinatra, and I read in the trivia that you auditioned for Ginger on Gilligan's Island.
My boobs weren't big enough.
Yeah, but I knew her.
Yeah, me too. Tina Louise.
Tina
Louise.
Tina was a friend of Lee
But
Winkler.
you still know her. She's alive and beautiful.
No. I have not seen Tina in 1,000 years. Do you know the name Lee Winkler of Global Enterprises? He was the
Yes, I
business
do.
manager. Lee Winkler and Perry Winkler, my dearest friends. Perry still is. She will be 100 years old in about a month, and she's alive.
My Lord, God, that's great.
Perry's still at it, fishnet stockings, mini dresses, and looks wonderful. Anyway, Lee and I were like brothers, and we used to go up to their house at Shaw Place all the time in Beverly Hills. And Tina Louise was there one day because she was dating one of Lee's friends. And I'm not going to tell that story. What am I, crazy?
Oh, go ahead.
No, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think Tina would like it. Anyway.
She'll never know.
Well, we were all going to the candy store, and Tina, let's put it this way, got loaded and collapsed on the table. And the boys picked her up, put her in a cab, and sent her home. And that was the last I ever saw of Tina because we couldn't take her to the candy store. But Lee Winkler was by far one of the most wonderful male friends a male could have. Dangerous for women. Did he ever hit on you?
If he did, I didn't know it. So this is what I started to tell you and never finished. And that is that in most cases, if a pass was made at me, I made a joke out of it and laughed and said, you can't be serious. And I think that most of the guys that I ever worked with, I could go have a beer with, I could go have drinks with, I could swap body stories with, but nobody ever hit on me. And maybe it's because, and it's not like I came off like a goody two shoes, even though I am.
Yeah.
I just have a wild sense of humor about everything. And I think I laughed off things. So nobody ever chased me around a desk. I'm sorry to say.
But Ruda,
You're gorgeous.
Ruda, I don't blow smoke up anyone's butt. I'm famously known for that. Ron Russell tells it like it is. I'm a New York, Brooklyn boy. We don't bullshit people. You are beautiful. You are still beautiful. You're beautiful at every decade. But when I see you because we watch Palm Springs, Channel 14. We watch Hogan's Heroes and then Carol Burnett and all those shows because they were fun to look at. And you come on Twilight. You're on Perry Mason. You're on Twilight Zone. You're on Your Sister's Ass. You're on everything, okay? When I see your face, you're beautiful. You have the most gorgeous little nose, beautiful big eyes. You're a beautiful woman. I don't see why men didn't go crazy over you.
Well, listen, I'm a widow now. Want to go crazy over me?
You want an old fag? I mean, it's okay with me. Who just had a triple bypass 4 weeks ago?
Well,
I don't know.
Wait a second. Hold on. There's more to the criteria. It has to be somebody very old, very rich, and very near death.
Well, I have several friends of mine who are waiting for the same thing. One is Adrienne Barbeau. She's looking for the same guy.
She is adorable. I did a Christmas movie with her, and we had
Love
lots
her.
of laughs.
Love Adrian. Love Adrian. Yeah, she said to me she's looking for a companion, old, rich, and ready to go. I said, you and every other woman I know in Hollywood. Sue Wong
Well,
also, the designer's looking for one like that.
I'll tell you, if I were ever to want someone in my life again, I think it would be a lovely gay person. Someone because sex is such a big Megillah made. Oh my Lord, it's laughable. And why not a good guy that has great style and pizzazz and is a good companion and a good escort and fun to have around and just be with. That's my idea of the next man in my life.
Well, don't underestimate we gay men. I have two children, two daughters. I
I
was
just
married.
said that. Oh, don't underestimate. Oh,
Wait,
gotcha.
I was married for 16 years. I don't have problem with women. I just choose men. But women, I mean, I told you, Chippy and I were drinking so much at Blackwell's funeral, we started kissing and I cracked. And I love Tippy. I love her to death. Harlan said that she's no longer doing interviews. And I'm so sad because I wanted her on our show. But
Oh,
yeah, Tippy's
I'm
retired.
surprised to hear that.
No,
I
Harlan said it.
I
She,
substituted for her recently, not recently, about a year ago, at the compound, the animal compound that she has,
right.
because
Shambhala.
yeah, she raises money for Shambhala by having people come for lovely picnic suppers and
Right.
tour the animals and whatnot. And then she has a question and answer thing, with them, and she didn't feel up to it. So Harlan asked me to fill in for her. And I tell you, she came down and said hello to everybody. One could learn to hate that bitch. She is so gorgeous. And
Well, my nickname for her is Tipska because that's what her father called her. I did an hour interview in Shambhala with Tippy. It's on YouTube for those of you who want to see it. It's a wonderful interview. We saw all the animals. We talked about the financing of the feeding the beasts. We also talked about the horrible people out there that are getting these pets, these tigers for pets, and then destroying them. So it's a wonderful interview to see, and we ask you to please send money to Shambhala. Ruta, we have over 5 million people that watch our show all over the world. And I always said, if everybody all over the world sent 50 cents to one of our
yes,
causes, we would have a lot of
yes,
money. And I think they should send them to your thespian
alien.
Thalian cause. Debbie would kill me
Yeah.
if I screwed up on that one. But
Well,
So Ruta, everybody's passing around pictures in a Facebook group so everybody can see what you look like, and everybody's
beautiful,
commenting how
beautiful
gorgeous
girl.
and beautiful you
A
are. So when you
beautiful
say
girl.
Tippy, you'd want to kill her because she's so beautiful, but so are you. Just to let you know, everybody thinks you're
well,
absolutely
Tippy-
gorgeous.
Jimmy, thank you. That's very, very kind. And
No,
I'm
Tip-
not a baby anymore. I'm going to be 86 on the 30th. And
Well,
wow.
I'll be 81 next week. So,
So
Sister
you see,
dear,
you're younger than I am. I could learn to hate you.
But I want to tell you something. You know what? You live but 20 minutes from us. We live, I don't want to say where, but not far from you. And I know where you live. You're up the hill from us. Okay.
Up the hill from you, yeah.
If you go on Sunrise and
Don't
make
don't
I can't.
don't.
If you make a right on
Don't.
no, but
We live close.
Yes, all right. Yeah, you are close. All right.
we're within
Well,
we're
you
within
have my
bicycle.
number, so when you're
we're
home,
within-
you'll give me a buzz.
No, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have, as soon as I'm well enough and we get back from New York, I'm going to have a party of just celebrity friends at our house. And I'm going to invite you and you're going to have a ball because you know everybody that's going to be here. You'll know them all.
Yeah.
And
Well,
and we'll have,
at the book signing, George Chakiris, God love him, is on Saturday, and I'm on Sunday. So I'm going to go to his, and he's going to go to mine. And I was at the dentist yesterday, and who's at the dentist office with me and uses the same lady to clean teeth, but George Chakiris. So hell, I might move in with him. What the hell?
Well, he qualifies for all the things you need. But
Yes. And
I want
that's
to I want to get back to your book. I want to get back to your book because we want you to sell your book so you could make more money to buy more false eyelashes. But
yes,
anyway,
yes, I need them.
yeah, they cost a fortune now, not like years ago with Buck. Tell me, is it star-studded? Are you telling stories about all our favorite movie stars of
Yeah,
yesteryear?
I do. I mean, look, I am not an unkind person. So I tell stories that are kind of fun and, a little bit snappy and kind of put a tinkle in the laughter. But they're sort of adventures that I've had. It's a potpourri of happenings. And of course, as soon as I was done with this one and read through it, I said, oh my God. I didn't talk about this. I didn't talk about that with Bob Hope. I didn't do this about Bing Crosby. I didn't do, all of the things. So there's obviously a sequel. But what I really gave short shrift to with just one chapter in the book is probably the greatest adventure of my life when, after trying to get my grandmother out of Soviet Lithuania and Siberia, where she and her husband had been deported. His legs were frozen on that cattle train that they were being deported on. And when they took off his boots at one of the stations, the flesh came off with the boots. And it just awful. And she survived 15 years in Siberia and was finally permitted to go back to Lithuania. And the whole time that she was in Siberia, I was the first to become a citizen in the United States because I was born in Canada of Lithuanian parents. And so I started making out visovs for her as soon as I got my papers. And nothing worked. And I spoke to every one of the politicos that I knew that I was in any way connected to, and I got great sympathy, but I didn't get any aid. And we got a letter from one of my aunts who was writing for my grandmother, who never went to school, never knew how to read or write, that she was dying, that she had been to see a doctor, and the doctor told her to go home and prepare to die.
Wow.
And we didn't know. Now you have to understand that a letter took anywhere from 2 to 6 weeks to get here. And of course, many of the lines had been crossed out, that was the kind of censorship that was applied to anything coming and going from the Soviet Union in those days. And I went out with friends that night. My mother was in a spate of tears because here was my one remaining grandparent, and I probably was never going to meet her. And the more wine my friends poured for me that night, the more evident it became that I should do something quite shocking, and that is pick up the damn phone and call Khrushchev. So I did.
Was he nice?
So at 2 a.m, I placed a call. You will remember, boys, that there used to be person to person.
Yes.
And you paid
Yes.
twice as much for the call, but you didn't pay if you didn't get your party.
Exactly.
And so the operator, I said, I want to speak to Nikita Khrushchev, the Kremlin, Moscow, USSR. And that miserable bitch said, how do you spell Khrushchev? Well, who the hell knew how to spell Khrushchev?
Still don't.
Anyway, back and forth with the operators, not available, no, okay, you can't talk to him. Maybe 16 calls back and forth, back and forth. In the meantime, I started calling the Russian embassy to see if I could get somebody there to let me go. And I talked to everybody from the dishwasher to the window washer to the upstairs maid. And it was always niet, 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 niet. Finally, the call comes through from the Russian operator, and she says, Mr. Khrushchev no speak it English. You speak it with his interpreter, Khrushchev. I said, yes, fine. I remembered that he was a very attractive man that traveled with Khrushchev when he was banging his shoe on the podium and saying rather rude things to Americans, and his interpreter translated it and made it quite palatable to our sometimes very Victorian ears. And so I speak to him, and he said, "Oh, Miss Lee, we know all about you here in the Soviet Union. We see your movies. What can I do for you?" And I said, "I'll tell you what you can do for me. I want to come to the Soviet Union, not only to the Soviet Union, but to Lithuania, where you never went unless you were a very high party official in those days, and any of those satellite countries. And I want to bring my mother and father." And the State Department had warned me never to take my mother and father to a Soviet country because they could be detained there as primary citizens. Me, they wouldn't keep, but my parents, they could. And I thought, God's not going to be that cruel, you know? And I said, I want to bring them, and I want to come right away, because I don't even know if my grandmother is alive or dead. If she's dead, I'll go to her gravesite. If she's still alive, I'll see her. If not, maybe I'll get there for her funeral. Come on. And he said, well, why don't you talk to your congressman about this? At this point, I blew up and said, what the hell does my congressman have to do with my traveling in your country? This is not politics. This is a matter of the heart. Well, I must have pulled the right string for him, because he said, present yourself again to the Soviet embassy in 30 minutes. And I thought, oh, Christ, here we go again. I'm going to get sloughed off, this time to the downstairs maid. But this time when I called, I got to talk immediately to the first secretary, very high position. And the first secretary was Lithuanian, and I'm fluent in Lithuanian. And we, long story short, within 48 hours, my mom and dad and I were on a Pan Am flight headed to Moscow, then to double back to Lithuania, where my grandmother had been miraculously moved by big fancy ambulance from the little village that she lived in the north of Lithuania down to Kaunas, one of the major cities, to a hospital where they took very good care of her. I say hospital, they didn't even have damn aspirin, and this is 1964. But miracle of miracles, I got permission. They treated me very well. But you know why they treated me well? Because people like yourselves, Jim Baker, not Baker, oh my God.
Not
Yes.
Jim Baker.
Not Jim Baker. Hang on, I'm doing the wrong name. I'll think of it in a minute.
And that is a
Bacon, not Baker. Jim Bacon was the top AP wire service man for Los Angeles and the movie colony. He did a story on me. We had lunch just before I left. He did a story that hit worldwide headlines that I never knew about, because I was on a plane going there. Never saw them, but it claimed Hollywood starlet, fights Russians, goes to Khrushchev, gives her permission to come into. So what else are the Russians going to do? Not the Russians, the communist authorities. What else are they going to do? But the eyes of the world are on this stupid little girl, who's now traipsing around Lithuania. But be nice to me and give me what I needed. When I asked to bring my grandmother home, they said, she can't travel now. You'll come back in 6 months and get her, and then you'll be able to take her home, which I did. And guys, after this adventure that I write about, when she got off the plane, we didn't have jetways then, you had to step down to the tarmac. This little 95-year-old lady dropped to her knees on the ground, kissed the ground, raised her arms to God in heaven, and said, "Hello, America."
How sweet is that?
Oh, Christ, I go into tears every time I think about that, and how blessed she felt to be here, and how stupid all of our younger people are these days. And I'm exaggerating, but
No, you're not.
We're falling into the awful traps of thinking that socialism is going to do it for us. Stalin said
Never,
so that
never,
the
never,
first
never, never,
rank,
never.
the first
Communism,
rung,
communism must never, ever come to our country. We are free thinking people. We have been generational for years and years and years to think and do as we choose. You cannot put braces on our brains, and that's what communism does. They're changing
exactly what-
words. We're not
Well-
allowed to say parents. We're not allowed to do this. We're not allowed to do that. What the hell is going on? Maybe Trump wasn't such a horrible person after all. Maybe Trump
I don't
knew
care how
what he
horrible.
was
First,
doing.
he
What?
knew what he was doing. He was right.
He
Yeah,
knew
he
what
knew what
and
he was doing.
everything that Trump has said is coming to happen. God bless America. God save America. I miss my America of the last 80 years of my life, which was an incredible country to live in. Beautiful big cars, McDonald's, drive-in movies, the Hop.
Okay, hang
all
on,
the
hang on.
wonderful things that we did as young teenagers, then as grown-up people, raising my children in a beautiful home with a swimming pool. Given America has given to us so much. God bless it, and please let's preserve America. Let's not become brainless, one-of-a-kind, non-thinking communists.
Amen.
There you go.
Amen.
Amen.
And you got
So-
me. You got me started. You hit my thing. Now I'm going to ask you.
Hang on.
No, wait, I want to ask her a question.
I know, but we gotta.
I don't want to lose her yet. I'm going to have to.
We're gonna bring her back.
I'm going to run up the hill with the mic now. Listen, Ruda, out of your book, I want the funniest story you have to tell. Tell it now.
The funniest story.
It's
Oh
got to
my
be
God.
kind of quick.
We want to end the show on a happy note, a positive,
the
up,
funniest
happy note.
story is that just basically I want everybody to consider their ass kissed if they go out and buy the book, and they'll read all the funny stories they want. And in the meantime, you, my darlings, pick up the phone and call me when you're here, or I'll call when I'm there, and we will sit down and have a glass or 10 of wine and swap stories all over the place.
So you know what?
Wait,
Hang on, I gotta tell her
check
something.
for a minute, Jimmy. Jimmy and I are married 10 years. We quarrel all the time. Then when you're here, you're going to drive down the hill to my house. I'm going to cook you a wonderful Italian meal, and we're going to
I
have
love that.
we're going to have wine, and I'm going to have maybe a few interesting people over that feel as we do.
Is tomorrow too soon?
Actually, is tomorrow too
No.
soon? No, but I'm not up yet for cooking because 4 weeks ago I had triple heart surgery,
Triple bypass.
so I'm supposed.
So what you have to
Well,
do?
see,
I'm
this is all
supposed to.
part- I'm sorry. This is all part of why we have to be so grateful that you were able to get this gorgeous surgery. You had people that knew what the hell they were doing with the parts they put in your
Absolutely.
body. Oh, and
Absolutely.
thank you, God. Thank you for the privilege of living in this country.
I agree so
So-
much with you, Ruda. I can't imagine feeling any other way. And you know what? All of our closest friends all think like we do.
So
Every one of us think alike.
so hang on, my turn.
And you know what? It's hang on, Jimmy. It's a good thinking, Ruda. You're a smart. You're a smart. Listen, I've seen you in action, and you can sell anything. You have a wonderful way about you, and I know that you're a smart lady, and you're anti-communist because you know what communism is. So everybody out there should listen to Ruda Lee when she says communism should never come to our country.
Absolutely. So, Ruda, a couple things quick. Number one, we have a chat room full of people, so please just say hi to everybody in the chat room. We normally do that at the beginning, but since we had a rough beginning, just say hi.
Well, I'm so pleased that you darling guys shared your audience with me. I am grateful, I'm honored, and I do hope that I will continue to amuse, entertain, dazzle, whatever it takes, some of you or all of you, for the rest of my days. I feel honored to be in your company. Thank you so much.
And then I need you to
And
say
the
hi.
feeling is so mutual,
And you need
my
to,
dear.
two people in particular, Teresa and B. B's from Germany, and she's talking the whole time. She's writing in the chat room how like that was such a big story, and she remembers all of it. And you're such an icon in Germany, and how much they love you. So say hi to Teresa, who's in Florida, and B, who's in Germany.
Hello, Teresa and B. I've certainly spent lots of time in Florida because I used to do Home Shopping Network. So I'd be there for a week a month for 5 years. It was really wonderful. And B, I don't know if that's short for Beata or whether it's just plain B. But God, Germany is beautiful. I had no idea of what a pretty country Germany is. And I spent a lot of time on the border because I had a friend who had a house near, oh boy, I can't remember the name of the town anymore. I'm getting old, I think. I can't remember names. But
No.
love Germany and can't wait to come back and visit. I've never seen Berlin. I'd like to see Berlin. I hear it's one hell of a good city.
Absolutely. So you guys, you can get Consider Your Ass Kissed at all your favorite bookstores. If you're in Palm Springs, her signing is at Just Fabulous on May 30th at 2 p.m. Her website is rudalee.com. And
I want to say this, Ruta Lee is the ultimate raconteur there is. So I'm guaranteeing you that when you read her book, you're going to get stories that are interesting, fast moving, excuse me, and funny and wonderful and full of the love that Ruta Lee sends out when you know her and you know her personality. I have never been in her presence without feeling some kind of a warmth coming from the woman. She's just out. Are you from Texas?
No, I'm from Montreal, Canada.
Oh, okay. I thought you could have been a
have
Texas
home in
broad.
Texas. I
Yeah,
have
but
a
you could-
home in Texas, and I love Texas and Texans because in some ways they're the last vestiges of the real rah-rah, I love Americana. And
Right.
you really feel it from those cowboys. You know, I love it.
But your personality could be very Texan because we have a lot of Texan friends and they all have that wonderful, warm, outgoing, real, hey, partner kind of friendship.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyway, for those of you who don't know Ruta Lee, of course, she doesn't remember me, but I'll forgive her. She meets so many people, and I never really made an important move with you. I never could get close enough to you because there was always gangs of people around, and we've never had a one-on-one. So therefore, I couldn't express.
Now you
we're gonna
have, and
make
she's
up
gonna.
for it.
Now we're going to
We're
make up for it.
for it.
Listen, do you know Lainey Kazan?
Oh, of course I do. I'm a
Okay,
big
I'm.
fan of her.
Well, Lainey and I are making a movie together that I wrote, and Lainey will be coming out our way in the weeks to come. So I'm going to invite
I'm
you
happy to
over.
hear that. Is there
I'm-
there a part for a blonde hussy in it? An old blonde hussy?
Yeah, we'll find a place to put you.
No, Ruta.
Okay.
Well, actually, there is a part of you have to play a Nazi, but
It's a comedy.
it's a black comedy. It's a black, but why not? I'm thinking of Sally Kirkland, who I love and adore and know forever.
yes.
You know Sally. I know her
sure
from the
do.
Silver Spoon in the Shelley Winter days. Jane
Yes.
Russell was my best friend. Jane and I hung out for years. Jane and I were like brother and sister.
Was a deliciously warm, generous, funny lady. I don't think people realize it because she was always billed as such a sex pot that you never realized her humanity under all of that. She was really a great dame.
I adore, love, and worship her. We spent years together, stayed in each other's homes. We were brother and sister. I took her name when I started the business, Russell, and she was always pleased with that. And she said, "I'm so happy you did so well with my name." But Jane and I were, you couldn't get any closer if we weren't married. Just a wonderful human being, a good Christian woman, a good American, a good Republican. She was just an honest, fair broad. She called it like it was. The two of us together were absolutely the same personality. And we adored each other. And I miss her. God, how I miss her. I'm always sorry that Jimmy's never met her. He would have adored her too. But yes, Jane Russell was an incredible. People thought she was cold and rude and very standoffish, but she wasn't. She was shy. And after you got to know her inner mechanisms, you found the most giving, honest friend. When we went, I took her to a red carpet premiere of her movie, Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. They were doing it in Cinema Paradiso in Florida. And I was her date. And we got out of the limo and the paparazzi was going crazy. Miss Russell, here, they yell and scream for pictures.
Sure.
And one of the guys grabbed me and he said, "Sir, do you mind? We just want Jane alone." Well, she grabbed me by my fake shoulder pad and pulled me in. She grabbed me like a claw, pulled me next to her. She said, "You don't go anywhere. You're here with me." And she looked at the guy. She said, Now go. And the guy went and made the interview. But no, that was Jane. Jane was just
She
just a
was
wonderful.
a good dame. Yeah, a very generous woman. I loved her. You know who
I-
else loved her? Debbie. Debbie loved her.
Oh,
Yes.
Debbie, that's how I met Debbie, through Jane. I met Esther Williams through Jane. I loved Esther. I met Beryl Davis, who I adored, through her. I met so many movie stars. Oh, Terry Moore. Terry and
Well,
I are
Beryl
still
was-
friends. Terry and I are still friends.
Oh yeah, Terry's a very girl. Yeah.
You know that old
Uh,
broad.
in
That
fact,
old
I
broad
think
is that old broad is still running in Santa Monica Beach every day, 2 miles.
No
Terry-
kidding.
Terry Moore still runs.
Really?
She's 150, and she runs 2 miles every day and looks wonderful.
Probably more of a walk run.
No, she runs. I just
We saw her at a red carpet
I
premiere
saw
last
I
year.
saw her at a red carpet
right
last year,
before the
and we
COVID.
took pictures. And if I tell you, the camera was wonderful because the both of us look 50. So Terry Moore looks
Well,
wonderful. I love and
Just
adore
get the
Terry.
name of that photographer, for God's sake.
Well,
Yes.
it's the camera. Screw the photographer.
So we also want to thank we want to thank Harlan for helping set this whole thing up.
Yeah, and Harlan doesn't remember me either, and I'm going to kick him in the head when I see him. I have been in Harlan's company so many times. Harlan Young was the handsomest, sexiest guy in the world. I don't know what Harlan looks like now. I haven't seen him in
He
22
looks
years.
like a young, sexy guy. And
Like,
the
he
best
always
part
wa-
is, not only does he look good, but he is one of the few gentlemen in our business.
Oh,
In the
absolutely.
She's fabulous.
relations business, which
Absolutely.
is a very difficult business. And,
Now,
and
Black-
he is wonderful.
Yes, he
Now,
is.
Blackwell left him all his gowns.
Yes.
So
And-
I was
and
wondering,
I don't
what
know.
has Harlan done with them? Is he going to put them on display?
I hope, but stop and think about the trouble that Debbie had trying to get the cognoscenti, the literati of Hollywood,
Right, to do
deign
it.
to do something and putting a museum together for her,
Right, right.
And
It was-
when you stop and think that those silly bastards let that collection drift all over the world. I mean, the Marilyn Monroe subway dress sold for $5.2 million. Now you tell me, what kind of schmucks would have let this all go to four corners of the world and not put it into a museum here for Debbie?
Well, that's the one thing wrong with our country that I can complain about. We have no respect for yesterday. Yesterday is old. Discard it. Let's get new. Let's change it. Let's get different. We need museums of Hollywood. That's why Robert Osborne and I knew each other for years, and I would tell Robert all the time, I fight all I can. When I interviewed Lauren Bacall, I simply said something about an old movie, and Lauren looked at me and she said, "Ron, a movie is only old after you've seen it. Remember that." And I live with that. And I push that all the time. And I work very hard. But TMC today, with the new people, there's no working with them. They have this new idea of what TMC should be, and it stinks. They're trying to be too politically correct. They're trying to be too diversified.
I totally agree.
Too diverse. Too diversified. No, too diversified. And if they could put black people in every old movie, somehow mechanically they would.
They
to
would, yes.
ruin what was. Listen, folks, Hollywood was white. Whether you like it or not, all those years, we can't do anything about it. That's how they thought back then. Prejudice, yes, was in our business. There's no question about it. But it was quality work, great stars. I knew Betty Davis. And if Betty Davis were alive today with what's going on, she would be out there screaming in the streets like a wild woman. Okay?
She certainly
Because Betty considered her work in some films to be art, classic art, and you can't disturb it. You can't change it. You can't change what was. Let's not try to make all white things bad. White people are not bad. Black people are not bad, nor are yellow or brown people bad. Yes, there are bad people, but not all. So we have to stop and say diversity is a wonderful thing, but don't shove it down everybody's throat because they're going to throw up. Because you cannot do that.
Change the pastor, you'll repeat it.
Gradually edge in. What are we going to do now? Have a Hogan's Hero? with Ruta Lee in it and suddenly insert black Chinese and brown people in it to make it diverse, then the story is ridiculous. I mean, how can you have Marie Antoinette's sister a black woman? It can't be. It cannot be. It's not
It
history.
is though now.
It cannot
It
be.
is in Bridgerton.
Yeah, and
Yes,
Bridgerton. Yep.
and I think it's absolutely appalling, disrespectful. I'm white. I was born white. Okay, I didn't choose to be white. I was born white to two white parents, and I'm proud of being who I am. Just as black people are proud of being who they are, and brown and yellow people. I mean, I have friends of all kind. I don't give a shit what you are. If you're my friend, you're my
Exactly, I don't
friend.
either.
Right? If you're my friend, you're my friend. If you're I don't care if you're a jerk, you're a jerk. I don't care what color you are. But
And
we've
you
got to
can be-
stop this with Hollywood. Hollywood has got to go back to being Hollywood.
Thank
I mean,
you.
I saw a
Same
woman in the I
back.
saw a woman in the window, and right away they made Amy Adams married to a black guy with a mulatto child. I mean, what is the point in that? Is that diversity? You're trying to tell people now that black and white should get married? How about giving them choice? Let people decide who they want to meet. Not that it's okay now. It's like Hollywood's giving permission. Okay, now you can marry a black person. Well, I have news.
yeah.
I have news for you. I have 3 or 4 friends
Yeah.
that are in interracial marriages way before this bullshit happened.
Well, that's fine.
Anyway, Ruta, you darling sweetheart, you're one of the legends of Hollywood. You are Hollywood. You are what's left. And I certainly would love to catch up with you and be your friend because I've
Boy,
lost
will we.
I've lost so many of my old
Yeah.
friends, my
I know.
Hollywood.
And
My-
Rudy, when I ask Harlan for your contact information, you have to. He's going to ask you. Just tell him it's okay, and that way we can have you come over for dinner.
Absolutely. I'm telling you here and now, well, you've got my number to start with. So
No, I don't have your number for some reason. I don't have it. I don't know why. It's not in the email. So, and you can't tell me now, but I'll get it from Harlan.
Listen, I
Okay,
can
all
walk
right.
I can walk up the hill and ring your bell. I know your house.
to my house, yes, absolutely.
You've been there.
Absolutely.
How many years have you been there? Forever, right?
Well, the first house that I bought, this, in fact, I write about this in the book. Talk about a funny story. Remember the wonderful actor Darren McGavin?
Oh, sure, Darren McGavin.
Darren-
He was in.
yeah, and
sure.
he did the oh God,
That
who was the-
night something show.
yeah, the
weird show.
detective. I can't remember. Anyway,
Night Stalker. Night Stalker.
no, it was before that.
Okay.
It was back in like the late 60s into the
Okay.
70s. Anyway, Darren, no, what am I talking about? It was in the late 50s. Darren and his wife were my very good friends. And they called me one day and said, Roots, we were down in Palm Springs and we were looking at the Racket Club tract, and we made a deposit on a little house. There are 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, and you get a yucca tree and a palm tree or an olive tree or something for the yard. And it's got a garage and, the walkways and a fencing. And while we made the deposit, we made a deposit for one for you. I thought, oh shit, here I am. I'm all of what, 18 years old, 19, how am I going to make payments? I can't do that. I'm not a star. I'm not in a series. If I'm working regularly, that's great. But how am I going to pay for this? God bless my mother and father, but especially my mother, who said, don't worry, you have trouble, I help you, that kind of thing.
Exactly.
So I bought my little house in Palm Springs, and my neighbors were some of the best and prettiest stars in the world, and some of the greatest people. And Mike Landon was a neighbor, and God, you name them, there they were. And then I sold that house and bought one by the same builders, the Alexanders, who built all of those houses.
Right.
The airport tract and down, in South Palm Canyon. And they built the one where I am now, which is in Vista Las Palmas, which is right above Old Las Palmas.
Right.
And that was sensational. And I called Webb and said, guess what? I bought a house. Rona Barrett came to stay with me. And Rona
Rona.
was saying, "Why are you in this little house over here in the Racket Club track? You can do better than that." And I said, "Well, why? I mean, it's the perfect little house. It has a pool and a thing, and I don't have a lot to take care of. I don't have maids and butlers like the other people who have moved up to the tract because they were taking the Palm Canyon tract houses and taking deposit the other houses as a deposit against that, the Racket Club tract. So I didn't buy one. Fade out, fade in. 20 years later, or whatever it was, instead of paying the 45.9 or 49.5, I can't remember which it was, for the house that I'm now in, I
Oh
paid
my God.
350,000 more. But
Well, the Racket Club
what the
had
hell?
Tab Hunter had 2 apartments there. He knocked the wall down and made it one. So Tab Hunter lived there because I knew Tab since 1959. I was in a movie with Sophia Loren and Tab Hunter called That Kind of Woman, and that's when Tab and I met, and we maintained an on and off friendship over the next 60
He
years.
is, to this
Was
day, one of the very nicest people I know.
sweetest, dearest, kindest man.
Very, very nice.
Down to earth,
And
regular Joe.
yeah, yeah.
And I miss him a lot.
kind.
Jimmy and I
Kind.
saw him before. Jimmy and I saw him before he passed away, and I was happy that we saw him 2 weeks before he passed away. But he was wonderful. But that Racket Club was filled with celebrities.
Oh my Lord, yes. And I just
Every
felt like
star was there. Do you write about that in your book?
not much about the club. That'll come in the next generation, I think.
All right, how about Blackwell? Blackwell lived down on Spencer Drive. Blackwell built 6
Did he?
houses. Yeah,
I-
he
I-
built 6
I didn't
houses and he
venture
lived in
there.
one. It was Spencer
No.
Drive, right off of Racket Club,
Oh,
Spencer
yeah.
Drive. They named it
Yeah,
after.
I know the area. So
he na-
that's my area. But
he
of
na-
course I knew the house here. I love the house here, the big house. But
Where,
God
one in
forbid
Beverly?
you ever had a glass of wine with him. That the wine came from somebody who brought it to him and opened the bottle probably 2 years earlier. And then you'd have a glass of wine and it would be Dreck.
Listen to this, Ruda. I had dinner with Blackwell and Spencer every Thursday night. We would go into Hollywood to that woman's restaurant. I forgot who, famous girl. It was a girl named restaurant. Anyway, on Thursday nights, you could have a pork chop dinner and share. So we would order our pork chop dinners, and he and Spencer would share a pork chop, and my then partner and I would share a pork chop. Blackwell was not the most generous, but in many ways he was.
Oh, he was. He was emotionally and spiritually. He was.
Many way, and he was not the nasty person. I mean, he didn't care for Zsa Zsa Gabor. He loved to dish her. We had so much fun on the Zsa Zsa stories. Like when we met Zsa Zsa at Debbie Reynolds' house when she had the big house, and Blackwell said something about weight gaining, and Zsa Zsa Gabor said, "Oh yes, I'd like to gain weight," she said, "because if I get too skinny, I'll get wrinkled and old looking." And Blackwell said, "Well, yeah." As she walked away, Blackwell said, "Did you ever see an ass like that? Not even on a hippo." You know? So he did that kind of stuff. My friend Perry. My friend Perry Winkler, who I love and adore, Lee's wife, he met her at my house here in Palm Springs. And when she left, I said, "So Blackwell, what'd you think of my friend Perry?" He said, "Just another old whore." I mean, he just did those little things, and he'd chuckle. He would call me up and say, "We're coming out. Anybody going to be at your house this weekend?" I'd say, "No, it's just us." He'd say, "Good." He'd come in sneakers with a beard and in raggy clothes. He never would be seen that way by people. But I miss Blackwell a lot. I really loved him.
I do too. And
I know you did. And
I miss Spencer too. Yeah.
Yeah, Spencer was a sweetie.
Well, but you know what? They're still here, and there's still a lot to keep them in front of us and alive. And And Beverly was so wonderful, with the boys.
Beverly Cohen.
Beverly
Yeah.
Cohen. There,
Did
there
did
is a
wait?
man.
Did Beverly Cohen get Blackwell's big diamond ring?
Oh, I hope
I
so.
I wonder because
Certainly nobody more deserving.
I think that Blackwell intended her to get it. And he had that weird nephew, that inherited everything, that had AIDS, a crazy gay nephew. Wow. And I hope that Beverly Cohen got that ring. But Beverly threw a beautiful luncheon, you remember, at the
Yeah.
Four Seasons Hotel,
Yes.
and sending Blackwell off. It was a beautiful, sad day. And then I saw you there, but you don't remember me either. So there you
Well,
go.
I do remember you because you're a silver-haired devil.
Nah, you're full of crap.
You
Now you're waking up.
lie. Oh, do you know how to lie?
Do I lie? How did I lie?
No. No, it's all fantastic. You gotta
Oh,
like
my
love it.
hair is my own.
Oh, I
Yeah, that's his
know, I
actual
know
real
it is.
hair. That's
Oh.
how everybody always remembers him, is his hair.
Hair and eyebrows.
Hair and black eyebrows.
But I've just lost 24 pounds from the stupid surgery. So maybe
Well,
when I
but
gain my
maybe-
weight back, you'll know who I am.
That's not so bad. Maybe you're staying a little thinner is better for your heart.
Well, at 195 pounds, I'm perfect. Anything below that, you get haggard and wrinkled looking. I'm
He doesn't
81.
wanna look
like
wrinkled.
Jaja said.
Yeah, like Jaja said, you got to be a little overweight when you get older to puff out the wrinkles. And I agree. Debbie Reynolds felt the same way. My Debbie Reynolds story is the best story. I called Debbie up and I said, Debbie, Jane is doing a benefit. Her church needs a roof. And she wants you to come in, and Liza Minnelli and a few other people. So I'm doing the dirty work for her. And Debbie said, Ron, I cannot talk to you right now. My dog just died. I said, oh, Debbie, I'm so sorry. She said, call me tomorrow. So I call her the next day and I said, Debbie, how you doing? She said, Ron, I can't talk. My daughter's outside in the car. We have to go pick out a coffin for the dog. so this went on and on and on until Jane got so disgusted with it. My Liza Minnelli story is even better. I call Liza Minnelli, and stupid Jane gives me her personal cell number. I don't know that. I give the number that Jane Russell gave me. I call and Liza Minnelli answers yes. I said, Liza, this is Ron Russell. Who are you? Oh my God, how did you get my number? I hear the phone fly in the air. It hits the ground. Some man picks up the phone. Whoever you are, don't you ever call here again. This number's going to be changed. So I thought, what the fuck is going on with these crazy bastards? And I called Jane back and I said, Jane, she said, oh, I gave you her cell number. I should have given you the other number. She said, she said, here's her agent's number in Florida. Call him. So I called the agent in Florida, and he sounded like a Guido from Brooklyn, another Dumba. And I know how to talk to those Dumbas. And I said, listen, Liza Minnelli is wanted to be in the Jane Russell, blah, blah, blah. He said, she gets 65 grand for the night. I said, $65,000. I said, I could get Patti LaBelle for $35.
$35,000.
$35,000. He said, yeah, but that's not Liza Minnelli. I said, yeah, but Patti LaBelle can sing. So it got back to Jane Russell. Jane said, what the hell did you do? You're making a war. Liza Minnelli is furious that you said that she can't sing and Patti LaBelle can. I said, well, isn't it the truth? You want to compare Patti LaBelle to Liza Minnelli? No comparison. So I don't make too many good scores in Hollywood. See, when you tell the truth, you get in trouble.
Yeah, well, that's true. Well, in Hollywood, no matter what you do, you get in trouble. So don't worry about it. Just
don't you love it? Now, how many times were you married?
Just the once.
I thought so. I wasn't sure, but I thought so. So that was a love affair.
It sure was, from the moment we said hello, and that's a funny story in the book. It's a sweet story.
What you guys, the name of the book is Consider Your Ass Kissed. So everybody needs to get it. It's by Ruta Lee. We want to make sure everybody gets it. And
You know, our show is a conversational show, Ruta. It's really not an interview show. It's kind of friends getting together like we're in Brooklyn in my kitchen having Entenmann's crumb cake and coffee. And that's why we're the #1 show out of all the shows in the world. And we've been that way for 3 times. And I'm bragging only because the concept of our show is good. See how we made you our friend? And now 5 million people are friends with you also.
I'm
Because
so
pe-
pleased. I'm
People
so
know
pleased.
who you are now. Now you're not just a beautiful lady on a screen. Now they know who
Thank
you
you.
are. And now they feel like you're their friend. So give me
That's
some
the
more
whole
stuff.
point. I
Talk
think
to
that's the whole point, is not to make fans, but to make friends. And
Oh, that's
that
what we do.
Absolutely.
We don't have fans. We have friends.
so
Oh
important.
no.
Right.
Oh no, you got to see the email and stuff that we get. Oh, I mean, it's amazing. People, I mean, when I went into the hospital, oh, Ruta, you think it was, I don't know who that went. People sent flowers and gifts and wishing me and energy. I mean, it was just amazing how many people love us. And that's because when we do our show, you know, sometimes we're filthy. We have some guests on that are really raunchy and we have to be raunchy with them. Oh, there's a Raquel Welch story. We invited Raquel Welch on our show. And unfortunately, she must have looked at one of the dirty, raunchy ones. And she contacted Jimmy and she said, "No way will I ever be on your show."
we behave according to our guests, because
Yeah.
sometimes we've had, some pretty wild, people who have their own, adult toy products who are like famous and just the weirdly
Yeah.
unbelievable wild things. But we like the classic Hollywood icons so much, and you've been fabulous. And I don't want to get in trouble with Harlan because he told me you could only stay on
Wait.
till 1 and it's 1:30 because Anson
Oh,
didn't show up.
Got you. Well, I have to.
Because I know you have an interview at 2.
Yeah, but if she could stay
Exactly.
on, if she could stay a few minutes more, that's no big deal.
No, she's,
Anson won't mind.
he's not here. He didn't show. I don't know where he is.
And nobody's showing up there. I mean, you know, this is terrible because all of our older stars, like who was it that was coming on and I was so excited? Oh my God, remember one of my dearest movie stars in the world, Friends, and we couldn't get her. Remember how sick I was over that?
Anyway,
I forgot who it was.
so you guys, this is Ruta because she's got to go because I'm going to get yelled at by Harlan.
No,
So everybody, you guys, so it's
okay.
No, but
I want- I
Ruta Lee
just
is
want you guys
coming back.
To be sure when you get back to touch base with me. And
Oh, no, we're
Oh,
gonna
no, no
definitely.
question, no question
And we will-
about it.
we
You're
will
in the
play
book,
in
baby.
Palm Springs, LA, wherever we want. Okay. And in the meantime,
Absolutely.
guys, I'm so thrilled. And then I will get the real story on how you met. I'm sure you've shared that with your audience before, but I want it
Ma-
privately.
Oh,
And
no, nothing exciting. He
we'll make
picked
it
me up in the
exciting.
mall he picked me up in the mall.
He was wearing all white t-shirt, white linen pants, white flip-flops, and no underwear. And I just walked up to him and picked him up.
And he thought
I tried to pick him up, and he told me to go fuck myself.
no, I did not say that. I said, get the fuck out of here. He came over to me. He said, "You're the most gorgeous man in the world." You know, I was offended. What made him think I was gay? So I said, "Get the fuck out of here, you moron."
If you didn't have underwear on, that meant you were trolling.
Well, no, I wasn't. It was
He
hot.
never wears underwear.
It was 1,000,000 degrees in Florida. You know how hot
Oh,
it is.
one more
Oh,
thing
and
then.
humid.
Before you go, Ruta, say thank you to B because she just said she just bought the book. She can't wait till he gets to her.
Good for you, B. And I want
Oh,
everybody else
B.
out there to buy the book because that
Oh.
book is going to be interesting. It's just as interesting as Ruta was on our show.
Yes.
Will be that
Thank
book.
you. Thank you. B.
So-
Dankeschön. Dankeschön.
There you go. So,
To
Ruta,
you.
thank you so much. Thank you to Harlan. We'll be talking to you soon. I'll
We'll
get
see-
your
we'll
contact
see you when
information
we-
and
we'll
I'll send
see
you a
you-
message.
We'll see you
I
when we
love
get
you,
back.
my boys. I love you very much.
Listen.
And love to your entire audience. God
We'll
Thank you
bless.
so much.
We'll see you when we get back from New York. We'll go to lunch because I'm not able to cook yet. So that
Good.
dinner invitation is on standing. But we'll go out to
got it.
lunch. Got
Thanks,
it, sweetie.
Ruta.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
honey.
Love
you
you.
back. Bye, sweetie.
Hey, a lot of people joined us in the chat room. Stefan Bell's here. Tina Davidson's here. Stars Now UK said, what a classy act. Don Hinton just showed up. Hey, Don, how you doing? I don't know if Ron's got the same watch on because it matches. I hope everybody enjoyed the interview with Ruta Lee. Sorry we couldn't get the video working. I'm not sure why,
Yeah, but she's great.
but she's fabulous.
I told you she would be. I've been in her company so many times. I mean, she couldn't possibly remember me. And now I know why. Her personality is so outgoing that I became her audience. When I would be in a room with her or someplace, I would just stand there and listen and enjoy listening to her. I never, pushed myself.
And I
on
think
her.
we've only had a very few guests where you actually are so enjoying everything that's being said. I think when we had Jack O'Halloran on, you loved all the mob stuff, and with Ruta Lee, all the Hollywood stuff.
But I know this lady. I know this lady for 23 years. I've met her 23 years ago, and I've always liked Ruta. In fact, remember when we drove by her house?
Yes.
I said, I wonder if I should ring her bell and go in and say hi, because I've been wanting to be friends with her because we live in the same town. But just, how you say, I'm going to do it, and then you forget and you move on to the next thing. Well, now the door's been opened, and yes, we will be friends with Ruta. Ruta's a funny lady. She's a sweetie pie.
Absolutely. So I don't know what happened to Anson Williams. I just don't. I don't know what happened because I got a confirmation that he's supposed to be here. I sent him a text message to his phone, but he didn't answer. So in
I
the
don't know
meantime,
what goes on with this.
we only have a couple of minutes left anyway because the show's over in 14 minutes. Because Ruta stayed on over an hour.
Maybe that's why he didn't come on. He felt we didn't give him time.
No, because he was supposed to. I let her stay on because he wasn't here.
He
He was supposed to. I would have gotten rid of her 40
not gotten
minutes.
rid of. You'd have asked her to go.
I would have told her that we'll bring her back.
Not gotten rid of. Oh, what's phraseology?
I know, that's right. That was terrible. She was so fabulous, you guys. So please, you guys, get her book. It seems like it's going to be a really good book. Consider Your Ass Kissed. Check out. I mean, she has worked with like a who's who of everything, and she was fabulous, and she really was fabulous, and she looks fabulous because I got to see her on the other computer.
She's a beautiful girl. Beautiful, beautiful. What do you think of this short hair, everybody? It looks like crap, right? Cut it too short because I couldn't comb. I'm not allowed to put my hands over my head
For 2 more weeks.
for 2 more weeks. So this looks like a wig. But anyway, it'll grow.
It was fabulous.
Yeah, what could have Anson, where are you? People are waiting to hear you. Can we contact somebody? Who got him?
Harlan.
Contact Harlan. Call.
I already did.
And what did Harlan say?
Nothing. He didn't answer. He's on set. He's on set, and I don't know. We'll have to.
Well, we could have kept.
We'll have to reschedule. No, we couldn't because she had to go. She was supposed to leave at 1. We kept her on till 1:36. Like Harlan told me she can only stay till 1 because she's got an interview with CBS or somebody, and they're at her house doing an interview. She's got to go. So she stayed on 37 minutes
Where
longer.
was she filming from? Palm Springs or LA?
I think she's in LA. But I'm not sure, actually. Everybody in the chat room loved her, though. Jimmy, get Jimmy to fix your hair, Ron. What's wrong with her hair? There you go. Make it all messy.
No,
So
it's
anyway,
fixed.
you guys, so everybody knows. So we're going to be going to New York on Wednesday. We're going to be with Eileen and Billy Hess and everybody for the weekend. And then we'll be back the following week. And the following week, we have some great guests coming on. We have Ron Moss and Devin DeVasquez.
Oh, I love them. They're our sweetheart new friends.
And you guys know Ron Moss from The Bold and the Beautiful, and he's in Player, and he's in the Emmy Awards series, The Bay, and his wife is also in The Bay. She was the very first Star Search model with Ed McMahon, and she was also a Playboy centerfold, and now she's a famous actress. And then we also have Claudia Wells coming on that day from Back to the Future. Claudia Wells is awesome. We met her at the Sue Wong Gala, actually thanks to Diane, who's in the chat room, who was friends with her and introduced us to invite her. So thank you, Diane. And she's fabulous, you guys. Claudia Wells is
They're
so
both
wonderful.
the nicest couple in the world you ever want to be with. We spend time with them, and they're just real sweet people. Interesting, nice people. Good to be with nice people, right?
Absolutely. Everybody's talking about how good you look.
I think I look good. I think I look like shit, but that's besides the point. Meanwhile, so we have a lot of special guests coming. My Lily McLeod, is trying to make her way back to America. Lily McLeod, for those of you who don't know who she is, was on X Factor.
X Factor, yes.
She was on X Factor, and she sang, what what did she say? My alabaster box.
Yes. Oh, that very good memory.
And she should have won, but she didn't because of political reasons, which she may never talk about, but we know about. But it was a fix. Lily McLeod should have won. Lily McLeod is one of the most beautiful black, gorgeous women you ever want to see. There's nobody more beautiful than Lily McLeod, who happens to be a super duper duper sweet close friend of ours.
So,
One of my best friends. She just lost her partner Terry in Europe while they were performing, and now she's alone. But she's got her religion. She's believes in Jesus, and she believes that Jesus is going to guide her through all of this and make everything happy.
we want to
So-
welcome Mick Manhattan from the Scene Snobs too. He's in the chat room. He says you look great.
You think so?
Yeah, he says you look great.
Everybody's being nice. Anybody with Lily McLeod comes on, that's going to be a very, very interesting show. She has what to say and plenty to say.
Oh, so and Tina says when she was doing about your hair that your hair looks fine, but she was responding to your comment saying that you couldn't lift your arms above your head to do so. So she was saying have me fix your hair.
Oh, Jimmy doesn't know how to cut hair. I cut my
or
hair.
slice it. Yeah, he cut it the other day, even though he can't raise his hands.
I used to be a hairdresser, don't forget, years and years ago. So I know how to cut hair. And no one's ever cut my hair in the last 40, 50 years. I cut it because there's a certain way to cut it. You can't cut my hair precision. It looks like crap. You have to chop it. You have to make it all piecey and sticky outy, and then it looks wonderful.
So you guys, some of the other people we have coming up the week after on June 9th, we have Kevin Spiritas coming on, and he's a famous horror guy who now is in one of the very first like all gay like Emmy award winning soap operas. And but he's also a horror guy, and on that same week we have Lynn Lowry, who's a horror queen, coming on, which is going to be like a lot of fun. And then we're also going to be having I forgot.
Well, Lainey Kazan's coming on soon, and we're going to have a lot of fun with Lainey on that show.
Oh, and then on the 23rd, that's 3 days before the Clown Motel 2 premiere, so we're having a bunch of people from Clown Motel on.
Right. So there's a lot of good stuff.
And Sally
coming up.
Kirkland's coming on after that.
Right. So there's a lot of fun. Did you get Sally's date?
No, not yet.
She didn't get back. Okay, but
No, she said she'd get back to me this weekend.
Oh, okay, good.
So it's great. We got a great lineup, you guys. We want to always, as always, thank everybody. Let me tell everybody too, these are the places that we're looking for people to go looking for us. We're on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, YouTube, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, Stitcher, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. So if you could share the links for those, especially Apple Podcasts, because I guess that seems to be the one that everybody thinks is the most important. And so it should be like fun. And the Scene Snob said they can't wait for Clown Motel 2. It should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's the first time I'm going to see myself on a. No, it's not. I've seen myself on the big screen before.
Every time you're in a movie, you see yourself on
Yeah,
the
I know,
big
and I
screen.
always throw up. I'm one of those actors that hate seeing myself on the screen because I look and I say, gee, I should have done this and should have done that, and this doesn't look good in my hair. Well, no.
Teresa Saban says she loves Sally, which is good. Ron's
Sally
friends with her.
Kirkland is a sweetie pie.
I'm not really friends with her, but Ron is.
Yeah, Sally Kirkland and I know each other from the Silver Spoon, where we used to hang out in Hollywood years ago. And Sally Kirkland is a brilliant, brilliant actress. She's a wonderful teacher, of drama. She's a good, what do they call acting school teacher,
Coach.
That's the word.
I think they say acting coach.
Coach
I
is
don't know if
good.
they use teacher.
And she's, Oscar nominated.
Absolutely.
So things looking good. I'm excited about New York. I hope the weather's nice. It doesn't rain all the time because, this could be the rainy season. And I was told to bring a coat because at night it gets cold. And coming from Palm Springs, that's going to be a little bit of a shock. Daytimes are pretty, 80 degrees in the daytimes, but in the evenings, especially on Long Island, it gets chilly at night. I'm not thrilled about that.
Angela Joseph says you're a scene stealer, so this will be no different.
What'd you say?
You're a scene stealer, so this will be no different. And we're looking forward to seeing
Who
Angela.
started that scene stealer? Somebody started that. I forgot.
Dave Bailey.
Who?
I think it was Dave Bailey.
Was it? Or Joe Castro? It was one of the two
Oh, it might have been Joe Castro.
that said that every movie I'm in, I steal the scene.
And
What-
Angela's actually coming to. The reason she's coming in is they're shooting a movie. I forgot the name of the movie. What's the name of the movie, Angela? But she's shooting a movie, and she's actually shooting at Lorene's house on Saturday.
Oh,
Lorene Landon. So it should be a lot of fun. We're going to
Well,
see Angela
tell
and
us
Kelly
all.
Maroney.
Tell us all about the movie.
And so it should be fun. I forgot the name of the movie, but I'm
Is
waiting.
Lorene in it?
Yeah.
she must be. if
She
it's
must be in it if they're shooting at her
shooting
house.
in her house.
Yes. So Angela's flying in for that. We're going to see her on Friday after late afternoon.
Am I going to see Lorene Friday?
No.
Lorene's not going to be at Santa Clarita.
No. Lorene's not going to be there, but there's going to be a couple other really
I
fun
mean,
people.
we could pick Lorene up and drive her up.
Yeah, she can't do it. She's got another commitment
Oh shoot!
because this is a last minute thing. So Staycation, the name of the song. Oh, I don't know if that's right. I don't know if it's Staycation or not. Joseph, Staycation. Yes, it is. It's Joe Castro's film Staycation, and they're shooting with Lorene on Saturday. So it should be fun. So everything is good with all of that, you guys. Love for you guys to follow us in social media. I'm Dr. Jimmy Star on Twitter and Dr. Jimmy Star on Instagram. I'm trying to build my
Wait a minute.
Instagram
He's not
following.
he's not a doctor like you get operations from.
That's okay. So if you
He's
guys
got to
could,
clarify the doctor because people
doesn't
get,
make it. No, they
No,
don't. They
people
just go
get-
to my. That's how
people-
you find it. So it doesn't matter what
yeah,
it
but
is.
people get confused. They think you're like a surgeon or a
No, I'm
plastic
not a surgeon. I've got a doctorate in education, which is what a doctor means, and
He's got a doctrine who became a
Doctorate.
doctorate.
means you go to school a long time. So anyway, all you got to do is she says we can video chat with Lorene maybe. So everything should be good with that. It's Russ Emanuel's film, not Joe Castro's film, so I fucked that one up. But anyway, it's called Staycation. It should be fun. We're gonna get to see Angela and I think Kelly Maroney and Diane's gonna be there and a couple other fun people. So we're gonna have a good time with that, and then they're gonna go shoot the film, and we're gonna be packing to go to New York.
Right. So it's a lot of stuff coming up, folks, and all good stuff, positive stuff. happy
Absolutely. Just remember that we're not going to be here next week. Remember, Rebel, we're not going to be here next week, so you can play any show. What show you want Rebel to play?
Which interview?
You
God,
should just play this one again so we
the-
get more plays.
there are so many interviews that are wonderful that I love. Oh God, I couldn't think one.
Just play this one again. That's fine. Oh, and Angela Joseph says it's so. Joe Castro said Scene Stealer.
It was Joe Castro that said scene.
You guys
stealer.
know Joe Castro. He's a special effects horror guy. We had him on the show. He got a ton of plays, because a lot of people are really interested in that, all the special effects stuff, and he's very, very good at it. So it's all fun.
We are asking him to do all the special effects for the Gift of Magic, which is my movie that I'm doing with Lainey Kazan, hopefully in September.
Oh, you guys too. Next week on Friday is Ron's birthday. So if you're in social media, wish him a happy birthday. I forgot it's his birthday while we're gone in New York. Teresa Sabin's actually the one who wrote that. She knew more. She remembered.
Yes,
Way to go, Teresa.
I will be 50 years old.
Plus 31.
Don't get smart. I'll be 50 years old again.
Yes. So it should be all good, you
I
guys.
believe in that. You should never go beyond 50. You should say, I'm 50 years old again. Going beyond 50 is just not necessary.
Yeah. So, and also, you guys check out Halston on Netflix. It's really good.
No, watch Hacked.
Oh, and Hack. That's on HBO Max, you guys.
That's the
It's
one
called
to
Hack.
watch.
It's on Thursday nights, and it stars Gene Smart as a comedian in Las Vegas. It's very, very good. It's called Hack, and it's on HBO Max.
We should get Jean on the show.
Yeah, I'd love to get her on.
I like her. She's a good actress, and I love
Ron said she should have replaced Samantha since Samantha won't do Sex in the City.
her.
The new
No,
one.
can you believe how they look alike? When you go in and look at Hacked, she looks exactly like, what's her name? The one from
Samantha.
What's her real name?
I forgot. What's the lady's name from Sex in the City?
I forgot. Could you imagine us? Oh my God.
Anyway,
What's her name?
Samantha. Her name's Samantha.
Her character is
Kim
Samantha.
Cattrall.
Kim, yeah. Jean Smart looks exactly like Kim Cattrall. Jean could have walked right in the role, and nobody would have known the difference.
Yeah, I think they should have done that because she looks just like them all. They said they all loved her on Designing Women, so that's very good. And thanks, Dawn. Kim Cattrall, she said it. Kim Cattrall. So it
Yeah,
was all
Kim
good.
Cattrall.
So anyway, you guys, that's it for us. We want to thank everybody for tuning in. We don't know what happened to Anson Williams, but we'll try to get him back. We want to thank.
These things happen, and they're very, very not nice, and it makes us look like fools. It's not a reflection of our show, believe me. things happen, and I don't know what it is.
At least we got to spend an extra half an hour with Ruta Lee, and she was
Exactly.
fabulous. So you guys, thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye.
Bye-bye. Happy seeing you.
Can turn out to be so wrong.
Yeah, we in the mix. Yeah, we in the mix. It's another episode. Here we go. The Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. Interviewing the hottest, newest, and truest of today's celebrities. Make sure to subscribe so you can get notified weekly. Jimmy Star, he's the king of cool. Ron Russell, he's a gorgeous dude. Chat room is live and you would be a fool not to vibe with us at the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. So come watch it live on W4CY Radio. Miss some past episodes? Download on iTunes. The Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. It's the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell.